everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So I'm working again today on my mass making JunkWithSteph design team project, and today I wanted to work on some of the paper bags that I have made. Now I did do a quick video to share a little update on making these little paper bags. These have been made from lunch bags that I purchased from my local supermarket, and I love the size of them. So, but before I get started with those, I just wanted to share with you, I've had a little bit of time in my craft room this morning, and I had mentioned in previous videos that I was planning on doing a little organising each day in my craft room. I'm hoping to spend about half an hour to try and keep myself organised so that I don't feel like I'm sinking in creative messes and whatnot. So this morning, while I've had some time in my craft room before turning the video on, I have gone through my papers for the JunkWithSteph design team project and did a little bit of organising. So I had mentioned in a previous video that I wanted to get some little Ziploc bags for my scraps. So I've got a little Ziploc bag with my leftover clusters, and then I've just broken up the pattern paper into small scraps and medium scraps, and I just have some tea stain scrap paper there. I did have a couple of pieces that didn't fit into the Ziploc bags. They're just a little bit bigger than the bag itself, so I've got them upside down and inside out. So I've just kept those together to the side with my other papers. And I have here my little basket. I've got a couple of kits in here to fussy cut, but I've been popping my ephemera in here partly because I get to look at it while I'm crafting, and it just makes me really happy to see my ephemera stash while I am creating new pieces for my ephemera stash, but partly just because I wanted to keep a track of what I was creating, what style of ephemera I was creating. So now that I've shared all that with you, I feel quite, dare I say it, organised in my space at the moment. I have all of my beautiful papers to my left, and I have my bags here ready to decorate, and I'm going to be working with, I think, the background pages from the Terrific Tags kits today, and possibly from the Antiquity kit, I'm thinking. So the Antiquity papers are here, and this is the Terrific Tags Volume 1, and I just want to see, don't they look pretty together? I just want to, I can't even remember what's in these kits, so I love that. Okay, so that's my first choice from the Antiquity kit. And from Terrific Tags Volume 1, now I've already torn the edges off this first piece because I was going to use it and then change my mind. Okay, and I think I will use this piece today. So I'm just looking at the colour of the bags. I think I'm going to use these brown bags for this particular, although the yellow does kind of work, doesn't it? Kind of picks up the yellow here. No, I think I'll stick to my first choice. Now you can see I have a little bit of seepage on my bag from my glue when I put these bags together. I don't have a problem with that. So because it'll all get covered up. Sorry, I went from talking about that to deciding what I wanted to do first and how I wanted to do it. So I hope you're all fabulous. I am, and I'm excited to still be working on this project. I think I want to go that way. Or do I want to, oh, maybe I do want to go that way. Kind of reminds me of wallpaper. Decisions. I think I'm going to go that way, which is flipped what I was initially thinking, but that's okay. I could do both. I've got the paper to do both. Okay, so it was really satisfying to pop my little pieces of ephemera into that basket earlier when I was tidying up. I have all of my papers that I've been working with so far in my videos are just in a pile that I keep to the side of my desk, and I had those pieces sitting on top, and I was like, I just need them to have their own space. I need them to have somewhere to just hang out. And I don't actually have an ephemera basket as such, or tub or tray or anything. I showed you the little basket that I have had up until now with my so-called ephemera stash, which isn't terribly big. And don't forget, I mentioned in a previous video that you totally have the right to count how many times I say ephemera stash in any one of these videos. For those of you who are new, having an ephemera stash is a new concept for me, and it's one that I've been incredibly excited to start working on, and hence the reason I will probably say it 1,000 times during any one of my videos while I work on this, but you'll also get tired of hearing me say how excited I am about it, I'm quite sure, but I am. So I don't really have a storage system for an ephemera stash as such. And when deciding where to put the pieces that I'd already made, I did consider getting out a really large basket or tub or tray or something, and then I was like, maybe that might be a little adventurous at this stage. It's kind of early days yet, so I refrained from doing that. But I'm hopeful it will come to that. Okay, so I'm just folding this bag over. You can use any paper bags that you have for this particular type of ephemera. I mentioned in a previous video I had been searching online for paper bags to use in my crafting, and I'm not a terribly great visual thinker when it comes to measurements and distances and that sort of thing, and so I'd found some online, but I couldn't really get a visual of how they would fit onto a journal page. And so I had these lunch bags here. If I tear it there, I can, whoops, and I shifted, silly old me. I had these lunch bags here, and I was like, it would be really awesome if I could utilize those because they're readily available to me, and I really love the paper. I love that it's a thinner paper. Look what I did while I was organizing. I actually remembered to replace my ink pad on my inker. So I am going to distress this paper bag. Yes, I love the thinness of this paper because it makes a really nice sound and it has a nice feel to it. I love that it's a little on the delicate side. So I played around with it until I figured out how I could create my own little lunch bags. Or sorry, gift bags from a lunch bag is what I did. And yes, when I was making more yesterday, it's the first time I've made any for a while. As you will have seen from my previous video, it did kind of get easier as I went along. The more I made, the more I kind of tried to perfect my technique. And I was feeling really good about it by the time I finished. I was like, the first few bags that I made or altered, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's feeling really cumbersome. But I made quite a few in a relatively short time yesterday, so that was great. And I don't have to wait for them to be delivered because, like I said, the lunch bags are readily available at my supermarket, so I can get them whenever I need them, and I don't have to wait for the delivery man to bring them. If I order them online, I have a wait period, so that was pretty awesome. So I'm keeping these simple. A lot of my ephemera for my ephemera stash will be probably working on a more simplified model. Again, you can take it wherever you like. It's funny when you're doing anything, specifically crafting, because that's what I'm referring to now, but I'm learning slowly that we learn how to do different things, and then we kind of adapt them to our own style. I'm tripping on my words again, guys. And you know, when we first start these projects, we don't even realize that we have a style as such. But the more journals I've made, the more I'm starting to understand what my style is. And I really love the busier, more detailed journal ephemera. But I'm finding more and more that a more simplified version of ephemera also makes me really happy. So I think for a while I was trying to make my pieces really detailed when I'm thinking it was out of my comfort zone. I'm not necessarily sure that's correct, but it didn't come as easily. And so I'm trying now to listen to what I'm telling myself, I suppose, as far as styling. And I say the word styling because it's my styling. I just need some paper towel. And yes, I'm trying to listen to myself and what I like, I suppose, and not keeping up with the Joneses. Is that right? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I was just trying too hard to make an individual ephemera piece busier than what I was feeling, if that makes sense. What about you? Do you stick with your own style, or do you see what other people do and feel like you need to keep up with that? I'm interested to know. And it wasn't something I was doing intentionally, not by a long shot. It was, part of my process, and now in the past and always will be, learning new skills, new ideas, new everything. I'm always learning. I love learning. And so when you're learning and you're learning from other people, you're totally watching what they're doing, and you take your inspiration or ideas from that, which is great. But I kind of feel like now I'm at a place where I need to stop thinking about what other people are doing as such and focus on what I want or what I like, and just trust my own styling. She says as she puts the paper down wrong. Okay, I need to come a little closer to the top. I forgot it was going to be a little bit short, and now I'm going to have glue. Still not as high as I'd like. My glue's just not shifting the way it usually does. I'm wondering if it's because the weather is warming up. I don't know. There we go. I don't really want to close that just yet because I did have glue down the bottom there and I don't want it to stick. So I'm just, oh, that's so pretty. I love that. Okay, I'm going to set that aside to dry while I work on the next one because I need it to dry before I consider what is next. Okay, so these are the antiquity papers again. And I have Terrific Tags Volume 2. I love that. So that will possibly be the one I choose. And I am going to flip through the others just to be sure. I love that too. Oh, and that's really pretty. But I am going to go with my first choice. So again, Terrific Tags Volume 2. And what do I want to pair that with? I'm just like, where did I put? Oh, my scrap papers are here. It's just like I need to keep my scrap papers separate. What I should do is just file these as I go. Oh, and they're not quite small enough to fit into my medium papers, but that's okay. Trying to stay organized. Okay, so I had that one. I do love that. Oh, I kind of really love the depth of that. I'm going to go with that. I'm not even going to keep looking. Just love the way that pops. So I'm going to do that way. Okay. Again, I'm just reaching back to pop my scraps into my recycle bag. My scraps I use to make handmade paper. I haven't made any for a while, so my bag is really full. And I'm really hoping the weather settles down here a little bit very soon so I can get outside and do that. I tend to do that outside. We have a warmer day here today, but it's looking stormy outside again. So as much as the weather would permit me to go out and do it, I don't want to be in the midst of making my paper and be interrupted or stopped because the storm hits. So and it may not storm, it may just be there's cloud cover out there and it's a little on the darker side. So, but I do know that oops, I haven't got my ruler up far enough. I do know that we're expecting a very warm day today. Just need to see where it is straight. It looked like I was going to tear it crooked. Oh well, here we go. Going to say there, I didn't want to tear the top of the word off. If I have to tear, I'll tear off the bottom. I might just take the tiniest bit off the bottom. Okay, so that's that piece. And put that into my scraps because I am really organised. And that won't fit, that's fine. Well, I'm trying to be really organised. I'm not naturally an organised person, I don't think. I try really hard. And I'm quite sure that there are some out there who would debate that, but I do try really hard. That's the best defense I have. Okay. Oops. I think I'd prefer it on this side just because of this darker edge. I'm working with layers here. I don't know if you can see, but I have 3 layers. My ruler keeps slipping. I'm like, come on, we've got this. I think. So those won't work. I don't think any of those will work for my little scraps bag, but that's okay. Okay, that one will. I think I need to have those in front of me a little closer. Oops. I don't know why that lid always seems to get stuck. So just inking these all around, and I've just realised I haven't done the bag yet either, so I will be inking the bag. And I tend to glue these bags to the back. Sorry, I tend to glue the back onto the page. I don't usually leave a tuck spot. On the odd occasion I have, but because this paper is a little on the flimsy side, I do like usually to glue the whole thing, the whole of the back of the bag to the journal itself. So I don't need to ink the back of the bag. Okay, and I am going to get myself a new glue page. It's my bone folder. I don't think that's as tacky as I thought it was. Oh, it's not too bad. goodness, I've left my flowers out in the other room again. I will tell you, I brought them into my craft room last night. I was like, I just want to take a photo of them because they're just beautiful. And I had them on my desk and I was taking photos and everything was going fine, and I accidentally bumped it the wrong way and it fell over and I had water on my desk, and I was like, and that's why I don't have really beautiful photos on my crafting desk while I'm actually crafting, because I can't be trusted. I had some in here. Well, actually, they're still here. Just a couple of days ago, and I had them on my craft desk, and I went to do a video and I shifted them to one of my other tables, to my table on my right actually, just to keep it out of my way because I knew I couldn't be trusted. And whilst doing that video, I stopped to do some sewing off camera, and what I was sewing, because they were sitting behind the sewing machine. Now, I really should have known better than to put them behind the sewing machine, but I didn't. I did it anyway, and what I was sewing, it actually hit the vase and knocked it over, and you know how you gasp when you just know that that wasn't good? Well, I did that, and I looked and I'm like frantically trying to pick things up because I could just visualize water everywhere, and realized as I was picking it up and searching for the water and where the water had gone, the poor little flowers, they were dry. They had no water, which was for me a bonus because it meant that I didn't have any water damage to anything on my desk. But I did feel sad for the roses. But on the flip side of that, I've actually been bringing some flowers in and drying them anyway to use for my crafting later. So I was like, well, see, they just knew that that's what they were destined for eventually. Love it. How pretty are they? Okay, focus, focus. So I'm going to use a couple of the brown bags. Again, the antiquity set, and I have the volume, Terrific Tags Volume 3 papers. I'm just going to shift that out of the way. Love that. Oh, I love that. I don't think I realised this had some scripted backgrounds. I really love that too. That's really pretty. I've actually printed this kit twice, accidentally, which isn't a bad thing. I think I'm going to use that paper. And I really like it against that, but I am just going to make sure that that's my final choice. I really like it with that too. That's my pick so far. Ooh. Ooh. No, I still like that one. Oh, I like both of those. Dash, why do you have to give me so many great choices, Steph? Okay. Oh, gosh, see, that's really pretty too. Oh, I cannot pick them up. I'm so excited. No, that doesn't work for me so much. And I don't think that's a bit same. No. Oh, but that's really lovely too. Oh, that's my pick. I love that side there. Okay. So, which way around? I think I like them this way with the darker at the back. Okay. Often when I'm crafting and I'm chatting with you and then I get distracted with the next thing I have to do when explaining it to you or talking to you about what I'm doing, I get busy with my crafting again and I think to myself, did I finish what I was talking about? I don't remember. Short-term memory loss. Or it's a, oh, bright shiny things moment. I think that's more me. Oh my gosh, I've got this pulse in my eye. It's just come back. I've had it for days. It won't leave me alone. My eye is flickering. If you picture a candle burning and the wind coming and the flame flickers, that's what my eye feels like. It's the weirdest feeling ever. Just like, please stop. Okay, popping that with my scraps. Oh my gosh, that's pretty. So if I take it from there, and I'll just hope that that's about right. Oh, isn't that delicious? I want to take a fraction more off, I think. Hoping I can do this without making a mess of the paper. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm just going to, whoops, just going to use my scissors just to straighten that little bit. That's better. Oh, thank goodness, my eye seems to have settled down. Touch wood when I say that. So you probably noticed I have uploaded my Christmas altered book video that I believe I was talking to you about just recently. I feel like it didn't come out as bad as I thought it was going to. I'm interested to know what you guys think. I've been really turning myself inside out and upside down as to whether or not I should share that video with you all. And one of the things I had to do earlier today was to just do a little admin with my channel, and I looked at the video with, like, on the screen with all the other videos, and I was like, I feel like it doesn't look too bad as far as the exposure is concerned. I'm just hoping it translates as well as I'm hoping. So it really did break my heart to think that I made that video and I wasn't able to share it with you all. Oh, best not do that. I was going to do one the same. Not that I wouldn't be able to use it, of course, but I really want this part here. Just about there. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I need to ink my bag. Can you hear that paper? Doesn't that sound delicious? I'm just trying to ink the parts that I know will be seen. It's getting very warm here actually. I was just thinking I do have a fan in this room. I'm going to have to get up there, and I like to clean my fans after the winter months before I turn them on. I haven't done that yet, so I will have to get up there and do that. I just don't know how it will go when I'm crafting to have the fan going, whether it's going to blow everything on my desk around. There could be videos watching me try and keep things on my desk rather than actually crafting. Okay. I was just like, I'm not sure how entertaining that will be, but could be really entertaining. Oh, I really love seeing these come together. Which way? Do I have it? Oh, that way. Yep. I have writing that goes this way. Every now and then I do this and I think to myself, I wish I could just rewind the video back so I could see which way it was meant to go. I think that was that way. I'm just like, I don't remember. I thought that came off there. I'm going to say that way. How funny. Yep. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. The other thing I did while I was tidying up in here this morning was I took the excess glue off my glue book. I was starting to have a really high lip on the edge of my book. And it gets quite sharp actually. Not dangerously sharp, but still. I'm going to turn this upside down, just so I can get my placement. I'm not sure that works for me either. Does anybody else struggle like me to get their placement right on their piece that they're creating? I just want it to look a little bit straight, even if it's not. I'm not really sure that's any different, but you know, it makes me happier. Oh, actually that's not too bad. Okay. Looking for my bone folder. Just trying to get a visual of how much of a border I've got, so I can try and get my placement right. Gosh, some of my videos I've struggled lately. Maybe it's the heat, and maybe I'm just not used to working in the heat yet. Okay, I just made sure that wasn't sticking at the back. Love it. Okay, so my antiquity papers, and my fingers are all tacky. And I have Terrific Tags Volume 4. Oh, I really love these too. Oh, I like that. Oh, but that's so pretty. Okay, that's the winner. Today's winner is don't mind it with that. We're auditioning now. Oh, I love it with that. I thought I would love that, but I feel like it's a little bit too light. Same. Struggling to pick things up because my fingers are really tacky. Okay. Oh, that's really pretty, isn't it? But I do think I prefer the busy of that. First choice. So I'm not sure if I've said in this video, I will show you where I pull these papers from when I initially use them. And then once I've used them once and they go into my scrap papers, I won't remember which kit they've come from. But if you're interested in having a look, you can reference the playlist. I'm not sure if I said that earlier in the video, but just a reminder, I've watched videos and I've seen papers that I really love and have wondered how I can find out what kit they're from. So I just want to make sure that I share with you how you can find out if you're really interested in a particular paper that you see. So the link for the playlist is going to be in the description below each of the videos for this particular design team project, which is my JunkWithSteph design team project, mass making. If you go to the playlist, if you don't know how to check the description below the video, so there is an arrow on the right hand side directly underneath the video, and you click on that little arrow and it opens up a description box below the video, and you'll often find information on lots of people's videos there about the video itself, including mine. There's always something in the description box for you. Okay. Oops, upside down. And I don't know if any of you noticed, but I actually have done a little bit of sewing on camera in one or perhaps two, I think one of my previous videos. I think I have finally set up my sewing station so that it's a little bit easier for me to video while sewing. Not that I will be doing a lot of sewing. I'm not a sewer, for those of you who don't know, who might be new or have missed me saying that in previous videos. I am not a sewer. It's actually something I started doing to make journals. And I've got to tell you, when I first started, so this is how bad I was. When I first started, I had bought a sewing machine a little while back, actually, with the thought that maybe one day I might be a sewer. I somehow subliminally knew that I wanted to use it in my crafting. I just didn't know how or when or why. Anyway, so when I started making journals, I pulled this sewing machine out of the box. I hadn't had it out of the box before that. And I set it up. That was interesting. I had to use YouTube videos to learn how to thread my machine. And when I finally got it threaded, I would be sewing away really happy, and then perhaps the cotton would break, or I don't know, my bobbin would run out. That was another time. All these different things happened, and suddenly I was going, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to fix that. So I had to use YouTube to search to learn how to thread my machine. I had to search to learn how to thread the bobbin, and then how to put the bobbin back in, because I did it once when I was setting up and then I forgot. I couldn't remember how I did it. So that happened. And I do have an overlocker here as well, which I really love. I've never had to, aside from setting it up initially, I've never had to, oh sorry, I think I've rethreaded one of the bobbins. I've had to replace one of the bobbins, but I haven't had to replace them all. So I know that when that happens, when I have to replace another one, I am going to have to be that person who searches YouTube for the video that shows how to change the bobbin because, or the spool, it's not even called a bobbin. I don't know. I'm not a sewer. I don't know these things. And so if anybody ever mentions me sewing on camera, I kind of giggle to myself because I'm just like, you guys have no idea how out of my comfort zone I am when I do that. And I don't know if I'd mentioned to you before. I think I have. So where I have had my sewing machine set up, which is on my table to the right, the table is like a trestle table, a camping table, if you will, one of the foldable ones. And so it's not terribly heavy. And I've had that machine on there, and honest to goodness, the machine bounces. It bounces all over the place when I'm using it. And the struggle has been real. So majority of the time when I've been sewing, one hand, which is my left hand, has been kind of trying to hold the machine in place whilst I steer the item that I'm sewing with my other hand. And do you know how hard it is to sew when you're literally trying to stop your sewing machine from bouncing on the table? And the other thing I will tell you is, I'm laughing to myself, sorry. I only bought a cheap sewing machine, like, because obviously I'm not a sewer, so I wasn't planning on using it to a large capacity, if at all. Like when I bought it, I wasn't sure why I was buying it. I just felt like I needed to have it. So it wasn't an expensive machine, and I figured if I bought a cheaper machine, then if one day somewhere way down the track I decided that maybe I am a sewer, it's a funny story to that actually, another funny story, that I could buy a new machine, like I could upgrade. Anyway, when this machine has been operating the way it has, and I keep watching other crafters on YouTube sewing on camera, and I go, am I that bad at it? Or like, is it the machine? I started to wonder if maybe because it was a cheap machine that, you know, I was never going to sew like those other crafters. It was never going to be a smooth process. Or I know some machines, when I'm watching people crafting, they don't make a lot of noise. I don't think that is this machine, full stop. Like, it's a noisier machine. But the smoothness of how they operate, I was just like, I'm never going to have that. It must just be me. It must be the way I'm doing it. Well, after my big project where I have modified my tabletops, and I do plan on doing a video, probably a short video, just to show you what I'm talking about, but I haven't got around to it yet. To be fair, I've kind of covered the table with everything. You can barely see the tabletop at the moment because there's so much stuff. There's enough space for me to have my sewing machine and shift it aside. I have another set of shelves I think I've mentioned before that hubby has made me that I need to paint, and I just haven't been able to fit it into my day yet, let's be fair. So, and some of the things are waiting to go in there. So my table is covered, and therefore I haven't done the video yet. But since I made these faux tabletops, and it was mostly because of the problems I was having with the sewing machine that I decided to do that. It's actually really helped. Like, I found my table is not as lightweight, so it's not bouncing around as much, and felt like I was sewing like a professional the other day, gotta say. I don't know if it translated like that, but I was just like, this is a game changer to not actually have to hold your machine down at the same time as using it. I mean, do you know how people, you know, they do things like, I don't know, they ride a bike and they go, look, Ma, no hands. I was like, look, Ma, I can use my hands. 2 hands. The struggle has been real, guys. I'm just saying, like, what you see on camera isn't necessarily a true indication of the stresses. I don't think I've torn this straight, or I've got it the opposite way around, because the bag is potentially not square. I feel like that's what's happened. Or I haven't torn straight. Oh well. Speaking of struggle, so straighten it as best I can. Yes, so the sewing machine and I, we're trying to make friends. It's been a slow road, let's just say that. But on the flip side, I don't have to search to find out how to rethread the bobbin anymore, or how to put it into my machine. So, you know, I'm making progress. I'm coming along. I can't say the same thing about my overlocker yet though, but I haven't used it as much. Gosh, I'm loving these. Okay, so I'm thinking 1 yellow and 1 brown. Oh golly, that's noisy. Big truck going past my house made my house rumble. Okay, so Terrific Tags Volume 5 is the next kit. See, I really love that together. Oh, and that blue is pretty too. Oh, so is the green. I'm going to go with the green, I think. So Terrific Tags Volume 5. And I do like it with that. I'm just looking at this yellow bag. I feel like it would work really, really lovely on the yellow. I like those two together very much. Just wondering if there is anything else. Oh, see, that's really pretty too. I really like that. I think I'm going to go with that. Oh, but then I... oh, bright shiny things. Make a decision. Okay. I've got tags on my piles of paper that tell me what kits are, and I take them off to show you, and I was just looking around and I couldn't find the tag that went with that kit, but it's okay, I've got it. Okay, so again, just removing my white edge before I tear my paper. Oh, and I need to pop that aside so I don't use the wrong bag. So yes, me and my sewing machine, we're best friends. My mum's a beautiful sewer. She wanted to teach me how to sew many, many moons ago. I think she's possibly still in a little shock that I do use a sewing machine now. like, who is this person? I'm not quite sure that sewing paper as opposed to fabric was her choice, but you know. Okay. I'm going to do it that way. Just like that line is crooked. Do I want to straighten it? Let's just take it from this side. Tacky-handed. Clearly I didn't tear very straight across the top. Never mind. I'm just going to use that, I think, as a guide. I think I like the depth of colour across the bottom, so I'm going to tear from the bottom. Put that in my scraps. Here I was thinking I would have time in this video to do a little decorating of these, but I'm not sure I will. In case you haven't noticed, in case you knew, I'm not the fastest crafter in the world. And I'm okay with that. I'm just chilling with my friends, having a bit of fun, having a chat. Okay, inking my bag all the way around. And then my papers. Oh, don't need to ink the bottom. Okay. Hoping this isn't stuck. Nope. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to glue again. Like, seriously feeling incompetent every time I have to put glue paper on paper at the moment. Oh, that wasn't, I was going to say that wasn't too bad, then I was like, I haven't checked it properly yet. Don't speak too soon, Sharon. Okay. That wasn't too bad. So pretty. Oh, and I was just thinking about a way I might like to decorate them. So, I'm sorry to say it's not going to happen this video. It's going to have to be a separate video, I'm thinking. I've been videoing and chatting. I think I've already gone slightly over time, or I'm very close. That's so pretty. Okay, and I probably should stop, but I really want to do one more, so let's do that. So my antiquity papers, and then Terrific Tags Volume 6 are a little bit brighter, which I really love. I mean, look at that. I'm just looking to see the colours in my other papers. I'm actually feeling like this one could work quite well. And I will show you what I just referenced. So, I think this is Collage Papers Volume 1. I'm just looking at this stamp. And I like those together. And that could be really pretty with the music paper, couldn't it? You know I have to audition the others. That pattern is too same. I don't mind the scripted papers, but I think my first choice is that music paper. Oh no, that's the last one. Okay, music paper is the winner. Again, just taking my edges. I need to be a little bit faster doing this one because I feel like I've kept you all a really long time. I can kind of gauge that it's been a long time just by the way I talk. I feel like I start to sound not weary, but I don't know. I feel like once I've been crafting for a while, my bubbles go a little bit. Does anybody else lose their bubbles every now and then? If you're not sure what I'm talking about the bubbliness in your voice. I like the bubbles. I just like bubbles in general. This is one of those papers that when I first saw it on screen, I was like, it's very, very bright. I don't know how it will translate when it's printed. And when it printed, I was like, it is bright, but it's really pretty. So it's potentially not something I would have chosen to use, because I was worried it was going to be too bright. So to see how it prints, that was really fun for me. And I really love it. Oops. Okay, and I don't want the heading at the top, so I'm going to take it from further down. Oops, you're not folding very well. It's because you haven't been pressed that way. Okay, and I'm going to use this as my reference for the width. Oops. Make my glue stick over. Okay, so lucky last. I'm getting excited. Did you just see me fumble with the inker? I'm just like, I've got to get this one done. I've kept them all so long. And I'm excited to look at them all together. Not everybody will ink these bags either. I like them inked. Listen to that paper. I love it. Love the sound. Okay, and I am going to get myself a new glue page. Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm hearing a lawnmower and I'm thinking, I don't know if you heard hubby arrive home a little minute ago. I'm wondering if that's him. I've got a funny feeling he told me he was going to come home and mow the lawn this afternoon, but I'd forgotten. Okay. Well, touch wood, that one didn't go down too bad. I'm like, why didn't that happen the first 5 times? And my last piece. Okay, so pretty. Okay, so bringing our bags in, I might bring them closer so that you can see they're curling a little bit. Okay, so that's our first one. Our second, third, fourth, so fun, fifth, and sixth. Oh, I think they are absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry I've kept you a little bit longer than normal. I hope you've enjoyed watching these come together. I really love them and I'm excited to be able to decorate them in our next video. I look forward to seeing you all soon, everybody. Please stay safe, stay inspired, and happy crafting. Bye for now.